In the past few weeks, we have heard gripping new testimony from the January 6 hearings. But what we learned today was particularly egregious. 3 former high-level Justice Department officials testified that the President of the United States repeatedly sought to pressure and manipulate the DOJ to, in the words of President Trump, just say the election was corrupt. And when those officials told the President over and over again that there was no evidence of fraud, Trump sought to replace the Attorney General with an environmental attorney with no experience. We also learned of an Oval Office showdown on January 3rd. That was just 3 days before the insurrection. We've got more on that in just a minute. The other big headline from today's hearing, that 6 House Republicans asked for pardons for themselves from the White House. CBS's Nikole Killion starts us off from Capitol Hill with all those details. Good evening, Nikole.
Hey, good evening to you, Nora. And this appears to be another case of the former president ignoring advice from his own administration as he tried to pressure senior Justice Department officials to overturn the 2020 election.
Between December 23rd and January 3rd, the president either called me or met with me virtually every day.
Testifying under oath, top former Department of Justice officials told the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack that former President Trump relentlessly pressured them to investigate false claims of election fraud.
We had concluded, based on actual investigations, actual witness interviews, actual reviews of documents, that these allegations simply had no merit.
Weaving previous interviews with live testimony, committee members painted a picture of a desperate president attempting to force former acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen and his deputies to cast doubt on election integrity.
You also noted that Mr. Rosen said to Mr. Trump, quote, DOJ can't and won't snap its fingers and change the outcome of the election. How did the president respond to that, sir?
He responded very quickly and said, essentially, that's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm just asking you to do is just say it was corrupt and leave the rest to me and the Republican congressman.
Instead, Jeffrey Clark, an environmental lawyer at DOJ with no experience in elections, wrote a draft letter that he intended to send to battleground states Trump lost, saying the department had identified significant concerns that may impact the outcome of the election. That was false. 3 days before the January 6th attack on the Capitol, a tense hours-long Oval Office meeting took place where Trump threatened to replace Rosen with Clark.
Toward the end of the meeting, the president, again, was getting very agitated, and he said, people tell me I should just get rid of both of you. I should just remove you and make a change in leadership, put Jeff Clark in, maybe something will finally get done.
Also at that meeting, Stephen Engel and former acting Deputy Attorney General Richard Donahue. They helped knock down claims of voter fraud and told the former president they had hundreds of attorneys at DOJ who would resign immediately if he went through with his plan. Only then, Donahue said, Trump backed off.
And I began to explain to him what he had to lose, and what the country had to lose, and what the department had to lose. And this was not in anyone's best interest.
Jeffrey Clark did not testify today, but invoked the Fifth Amendment at a previous deposition. And yesterday, federal investigators raided his Northern Virginia home. Meantime, the committee named more Republican lawmakers who sought pardons after meeting with the former president to strategize ways to block the certification of the election. Nora?
It's like there are new revelations every day. Nikole Killion, thank you.